Hi, friends. It's Naomi from EJ's Fun Crafting, aka Mrs. Craft Lady. I am here with another fun interview for you
Mrs.
today.
Craft Lady! What did you do?
We are talking to Abbi Kirsten from Abbi Kirsten Collections. Yay, Abby!
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
How are you?
I am doing great. How are
Awesome.
you doing?
I'm doing great too, especially
Awesome.
because I love meeting new craft friends, and this is so amazing. I've seen you all over the place, and now to see you,
Aw.
and talk to you in person is amazing. So thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely. It's my honor. I love getting to chat with people like this. It can get kind of lonely having a small business when
Yeah.
you don't go to an office to work, So when you get to have like these actual interactions, it's really great.
Abby, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your crafting background?
Yeah, so I have been kind of a creative person my whole life. So even when I was a kid, like I loved, to do arts and crafts and scrapbooking and stuff. And growing up, I never really had that necessarily nurtured in a way that explained to me that it could be something that could be profitable or could be an
Mhm.
avenue for a business or something like that. And so I kind of just thought, oh, I need to go to college. I need to get a degree in book smarts and stuff. And I kind of never really took the time to nurture the creative side of my mind, even though that's what I gravitated towards a lot. And so I never really had a lot of like ongoing nurturing with that. But as I got older, I realized that that was what I truly loved because I actually had a major in nursing originally in college, and I couldn't even like pass my anatomy exams. I was like, I should not be a nurse. This is not for me. I'm gonna hurt somebody. So I pulled out of that and I was like, okay, I gotta find what works for me because I was
Yeah.
surrounded by so many people that are like, you need to get a college degree. It needs to be this kind of degree and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I'm a creative person. I need to find how to use that creativity for kind of my life's work, And I didn't really know what that would look like, honestly, for a long time. But I met my husband and I got married and we had our first child. And I kind of just went into stay at home mom mode for a while because
Mhm.
I was like, all right, this is what's happening now. And during that season, I had my son when I was 21. And when I was 5 months postpartum with him, I got unexpectedly pregnant with my daughter.
Uh-oh.
And
Uh-oh.
yeah, it was
Happy uh-oh. Happy uh-oh. Yeah.
it was a happy uh-oh. At the time, you were like, oh my gosh. And then in hindsight, you're like, oh, this is wonderful.
Yes, yes.
So I got unexpectedly pregnant with my daughter. And kind of through all of that season, I went through a very deep depression and anxiety that
Mhm.
lasted for a couple years. And it brought me to a very dark, low place for a while. And I share this because I know there are a lot of people out there who find help through creativity with mental
Yes.
struggles and things. There's
Yes.
so many people like that. And I hear that all the time. So I'm honestly sometimes timid to share that aspect of my story, but I know it relates to other people so much.
Mhm.
And I want them to know, they're not alone in that journey. But I went through that season for a long time, and it was about maybe almost 3 years of ups and downs. And I started to get back into crafting because I kind of fell away from it with being a mom and everything. You get
Mhm.
busy and all that. But I got back into crafting, and I decided, I'm just going to start an Etsy shop just for fun. Everyone was starting Etsy shops back
Yeah.
then. This was like back in like 2014. And so I started an Etsy shop, and I was just like, all right, I'll make a little side money. If it doesn't do anything, it'll just be for fun. And I got a lot of people reaching out to me and they were
Mhm.
saying, I want you to teach me how to make what you're selling. So they wanted tutorial side of things. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even really consider that as an aspect. And so that's when Abbi Kirsten Collections was born. I thought, okay, how do I do this? And then I started researching of like blogging. Oh, I could blog, I could make videos, I could share things this way. And I didn't know how to do any of that. So I'm one of those people that if I don't know how to do it, I just Google until I figure it out.
Mhm. Mhm. That's the creative side in us. We're
Yeah,
gonna figure it out.
exactly. Exactly. So I was just like on a mission to just find the answer. And I just slowly started learning over time. And what really launched it at that point, aside from it kind of having that healing capacity of, working with my hands and helping be a turning point for my mental struggles. My husband, during that time with our 2 small kids, his company downsized and he got laid off. So we had 2
Oh.
babies and we were unemployed. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I decided I'm going to just embrace this and I'm going to see if I can use what I love to do as a means of income for my family. And that's when it kind of all just started snowballing. And I started blogging for a living. My husband became a middle school teacher instead of working in corporate. And
Yay,
I've now,
teachers.
yeah, and now I'm, the primary breadwinner and he supports me 100%. And things have just kind of, the rest is history. It's just been one long journey. I mean, that's like a 7-year long journey I just said there, but it has been crazy. That's a very long-winded answer. So I do apologize.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect because you kind of led into everything else. And
Yeah.
I love and thank you for touching on your postpartum and your anxiety struggles there because you're right. So many of us go through it, and sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we think it's just us.
Oh, yeah.
What am I doing wrong? Why am I not motivated?
Mhm.
And a lot of times we don't realize we've been in that dark spot until
Exactly.
we start coming out.
Hmm.
And they're like, "Wow, what was I doing?"
Yep.
And so to hear and it's a personal experience. You were able to turn that around for yourself. You
Mhm.
you fed into that,
Mhm.
and you turned it around for yourself.
Yes.
While you're in school and you said you started for nursing. I mean, at the point that you said, you weren't acing your anatomy, and that's like the basis of nursing.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you feel about that? Did you feel sad that you weren't going to finish that, or?
Yeah, I did. I felt a little disappointed because in theory, I wanted to help people. Like that's the point of
Uh-huh.
why I chose that major. I was like, I want to help people. I want to, make someone feel better who is not feeling good right now. And I didn't really know kind of how to do that from the creative side of my mind. So I just chose the obvious profession of how to do that. But then when I realized, I wasn't wired to do stuff like that, I was wired
Mhm.
to do something differently. And it took years, honestly, up until the last couple of years, I didn't even realize what I was doing now could really help people in a certain way. And it may not be,
Mhm.
helping someone through a sickness or something like that, but I think that there's plenty of other ways that what we do can help people just kind of step outside of what they're going through in that moment and find a little bit of peace or joy in creating. So yeah, it was disappointing, but I went through probably a long period of time of disappointment with that because I didn't really know what I wanted to be. Like I was one of
Mhm.
those people, I had no idea. I didn't know what color my parachute was. Like I had no clue. But it just took a journey of sort of finding myself. And
Mhm.
once I did, I realized it's okay to be this way. And there are ways you can use this to reach other people, even if it's not the way you originally thought.
And I love that because it's okay when you said it's
Yeah.
okay. Um,
Mhm.
we don't think about and people traditionally we don't think about crafting as a way to sustain yourself, to sustain your family. We're thinking, okay, this
Mhm.
is a side thing, something I do just for myself to calm down or whatever.
Mhm.
But hearing you express it like that, and I
Mhm.
love the word that you used. You said to bring joy. And
Yes.
that's all I see. When I look at Abby Kirsten collections, I can't help but smile. Even
Oh,
just your Facebook advertisements or,
oh, thank you.
everything's so colorful and all your flowers and everything. It just makes me so happy to see all of that.
Mhm.
Speaking of that, okay, so Facebook is where I found you. I had found
Mhm.
you a couple of years ago and I'm like, wait, oh wow, these are cool paper flowers and everything. So your paper flowers are amazing.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
what else do you do?
So, aside from paper flowers specifically, I do love any other types of paper crafts. So, card making or 3D paper projects, I'm all about that. And then pretty much anything that my Cricut can help me make because I'm just,
Yep.
a Cricut fanatic. So, if it's
Yep.
vinyl or something new that they're coming out with, I'm like, oh, let's play with it. Let's try it. So, anything that I can get my hands on when it comes with working with my Cricut, I am all there. And I've also got into sublimation a lot more over the last year. I haven't done a lot. I know you guys, you do some stuff with
I love it. I
that.
supplemented myself a new cup yesterday.
Oh, love it. Awesome. Yeah, my husband loves sublimated cups like that. Like when I first showed him that, I was like, look, honey, you can print a picture and just press it
Yes.
off. He's like, what? He's like, you need to make me this.
He had a list for you after that, huh?
Yeah. I was like, oh no, it's a secret. No, sure. Yeah, no, but I love it. like, I love it. I still have a lot to learn in the sublimation department because I'm very new to it. And your blog actually has helped me with some of the questions I've had. But
Oh, thank
like,
you.
it's amazing because I love my Cricut and I love working with like vinyl and layering. But with sublimation, you don't have to go through that whole step. You know, you can just slap it on and it's done.
Exactly. Exactly. It takes out so much of the guesswork, and you're not doing the print and cut, so you're not worried about the
Yeah.
outline and all of that.
Oh
So
yeah.
I love
Hmm.
it. I love it too.
Absolutely.
What's a typical day for you like then?
Well, my husband tells me I'm a hermit because I never really leave the house. So I am a homebody. I will own that. But my typical day is usually I'll wake up. I'm not an early bird, so I usually don't get up until like 8 or 8:30. Like I'm not a 6 a.m. or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
But I'll work in the morning on my computer, sort of checking community and
Uh-huh.
email and all of that good stuff, making sure there's nobody there who needs my immediate attention. Over the last couple of years, I've had to really set boundaries with that too, because it can just suck so much of you away sometimes, and you're like,
Yes.
oh, I spent 2 hours and now I have nothing left to give.
Yes.
So I've had to learn to set boundaries with that. But after I kind of do that, it's usually crafting up in my room. I'm usually testing something new, perfecting something that still needs the kinks worked out of it, or designing something new on my computer. If I'm past that stage, then sometimes I'm in the edit mode. I love
Mhm.
creating and all of that, but then when you do what we do, we have to go through the edit stage. So it's,
Oh
oh, we had
man.
the fun of creating. We're like, oh, we got to edit the video. We got to edit the photos. We got to post the blog post. We have to
Yes.
share it everywhere. So that's
Yeah.
probably my least favorite part, except for when I get to get it out there and be like, yay, I'm done. And now I get to
Hmm.
share it with the
Hmm.
world. But usually it's like every other day is like creating, editing, creating, editing.
And that's cool because you have a cycle, and I
Yeah.
end up putting stuff I create, and then I'm like, oh man, like you said, I don't want to edit this. Like,
Yep.
what took me 20 minutes to create is going to take me 3 hours to edit. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it is. It is. It's one of those job hazards, I guess.
Right. So what's your favorite thing to create? I mean, I know you said you like sublimation and Cricut. What's the like, do you have a favorite project that you've made?
That's tough. I've done a lot of them. I would probably say my cascading paper flower bouquet is one of
Oh,
my top ones. I've done bouquets before, but it was the first one where I did a cascading effect where I felt like I nailed it. You know those projects where you envision
yes.
something and it doesn't turn out, and then you envision it and you're like, oh, this was better than it turned out. That was the one that turned out better than I thought it was. So I think that's probably my favorite. And I have a tutorial on my blog for that. If anyone wants to know how to make it themselves, I turned it into a tutorial because I figured,
Yes.
everyone's going to want to know how to make this.
Right. So we'll make sure we link that. Abby, where can we find you, and how can we support you? Oh, and also talk about Cricut Craftfest.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on abbykirstencollections.com. I have tons of blog posts on there. All my social medias are linked up in our top headers if you want to follow me. And yeah, so this is our first annual Cricut Craft Fest. I am the hostess of it.
I'm so
And
excited.
yes, and Naomi here is one of our speakers, so make sure you check her out. She's doing an awesome tutorial on shoes with heat transfer vinyl, so I love that. My daughter saw them the other day, and she's like, "Oh, mommy, you have to decorate my shoes," and she started
Yay.
bringing me the shoes. So I got to put that on my to-do list for her. But yeah, so the Cricut Craft Fest is all about helping you craft confidently with your Cricut machine. And we have over 28 speakers this year, and we have
Mm.
lots of projects and amazing things for all the different current models of machines. So if you own an Explorer, Maker, Joy, any of those models, we've got lots of different projects that you can work with. And the event is free for the week of February 21st through the 25th. And if you want to be able to have lifetime access to everything, you can also check out the All Access Pass that comes as an offer with that event. But if you just need the free offer, then we've got you for the whole week, and you can enjoy that and watch all of our amazing presentations.
Yes, and I'll link that also below, guys, so you can click on there and get to that. All right, Abby, thank you so much for being with us, and I can't wait to see more things that you're doing because you're always coming up with something amazing. I have a
Thank
couple
you.
of your projects on my list as well. We have
Oh,
100 days of school
awesome.
next week, and so I'm going to be making some of your what are they? The ones with the
Oh, the
ornaments?
candy holders?
Yes, the candy holders. Those are
Yeah.
super cute. So I can't wait to
Yes.
make those. Give Abby a follow, give Abby some love, and we will see you guys again in our next episode of Community Connection.